Hey, hey. Yes, I know. It's Thursday. I normally don't pop up until Friday, but I came across this news article and I just had to jump on and talk about it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Um, anyway, before I get into it, welcome to the Eclectic Experience. I am your hostess with the mostest, Shy Rosalind. And I normally am on Friday and Saturdays, but tonight is a special edition because I'm talking about something that came across my desk today, and I can relate to this situation in two ways. So anyhow, tonight's topic: are hair relaxers killing us? Now, there's been speculation, there's been some research over the years that the chemicals in hair relaxers can possibly contribute to certain cancers in women. And of course, since it's mostly black women that use this product, it affects us more than anyone else. So, what I'm going to do, and of course, please like, subscribe, share with a friend or two or three. And likes are free, comments are always welcome. And yeah, so let's get into it. And I'm going to show my little itty bitty disclosure and fair use notice one more time because I am going to run a clip. It's a 1 minute clip from the news story that came across my desk. So bear with me just a second while I pull that up. Let's see. I hope it's here. Share screen. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so it's a 1 minute and 30-second clip, so hopefully I can get away with showing this. But here's the title: Woman sues 5 companies alleging their chemical hair straightening products caused her uterine cancer. I am also a uterine cancer survivor. Um, I had fibroids when I was younger. They were really bad. I almost had a hysterectomy when I was 40. I held off because I was trying to treat the fibroids with birth control and all that good stuff. I wasn't ready to go under the knife. And I'm kind of glad I held out because now they have the robotic surgery. So you don't, always get sliced and diced, as they call it, and laid up in the hospital for a week. Instead, you can pretty much go home the same day if the conditions are right. So, this young lady, her name is Jenny Mitchell. She had been using chemical hair straightening products since she was in the 3rd grade. Now she's now 32, um, and she actually was diagnosed with uterine cancer. She had no family history. She had to have a full hysterectomy because of the cancer, and the only reason she found out about it was because was was because she wanted to have children. She had gone to a fertility clinic, and that's when it was discovered. So here's the clip from the news story.
Mitchell of Missouri was diagnosed with uterine cancer at age 28.
I am
the first voice of many voices to come, will stand up to these companies and say no more.
Now 32, she and her attorneys, including Benjamin Crump, have filed a class action lawsuit against beauty brand L'Oreal and 4 other companies, claiming Mitchell's uterine cancer was directly caused by chemicals found in hair relaxers sold by those brands, which Mitchell says she began using as a child.
I underwent a full hysterectomy. That was harder than the cancer diagnosis because I will never be able to carry my own kids.
Just last week, the National Institutes of Health released a study that found hair straightening products may double the risk of uterine cancer in women who use them. Though the cancer is still rare, affecting an estimated 4% of women who frequently use the products. Black women were found to develop it at a higher rate than women of other races.
The science was always there for everybody to see. And so we don't accept willful ignorance.
But the study released last week has limitations. Researchers did not identify a particular ingredient behind the risk. They also warned more research is needed to definitively link hair relaxers to cancer. Mitchell is seeking more than $75,000 in compensation, and the companies involved have not immediately commented on the lawsuit.
Okay, so fair use, y'all.
Red Riding Hood loved visiting Grandma's house.
Whoops.
Unfortunately,
Nope.
others did too.
What the heck?
But after saving big with early holiday deals
Oh,
at
no.
Amazon, she was ready for...
Okay. So, I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so yeah, she filed a lawsuit. Now, yeah, 60% of women that were in the study that they did were identified themselves as Black women. And as it mentioned in the clip, Black women develop uterine cancer way more than women of other races. And I strongly believe that there is a link between the chemical relaxers and the cancer. And honestly, I don't even. If you think about it, chemical relaxers, chemical chemical relaxers are just that. They're chemicals. Back in the day when I was a child, the chemical relaxers had lye in them, and you're putting lye on your scalp every 6 weeks to straighten your hair. I mean, any kind of thing that can burn your head. And believe me, I've had my share of burns on the back of my head, and of course um it's going to get into your bloodstream because it's going through your skin. And yeah, I mean, who wouldn't think that who wouldn't think that there's got to be something in the relaxer that's being absorbed into the skin. And I'm just pulling up some quick research here. Chemical relaxer. So, of course. Okay, that's the lawsuit. I saw something earlier, so I just wanted to try. Relaxers cause health problems. Oh, yeah, here we go. Lye-based relaxers, and even the no-lye relaxers can burn your skin. That's the immediate reaction to using hair relaxers. Okay, the main ingredient. Here we go. The main ingredient in in a lie relaxer is sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide relaxers are very effective in breaking down the hair's bonds, otherwise straightening the hair quickly. Because it processes quickly, it is also the most commonly used relaxers by professionals. Now, sorry. So, basically, um, some of the women. Oh, here's the other chuckle. Some of the women who appeared on the kitty relaxer boxes. As a matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. Child model on relaxer. I should have had this ready to go. Okay. All right. There we go. Sorry, guys. Girls at the home and the next boxes. All right. So these little girls who got their modeling gigs, appearing on the relaxer box, most of them are now wearing their hair natural. As grown women, they don't use relaxer, which I thought was hysterical. They don't use relaxer, and it's just kind of ironic that they appeared on a box of caustic chemicals that burn your skin, straighten your hair, and possibly get absorbed into your skin and then into your bloodstream, and possibly, allegedly, can cause cancer somewhere in your body. Yeah. So, and also another good source, um, Chris Rock, his documentary on Good Hair, and that's the title, Good Hair, came out years ago. Oh my gosh, it has to be about 10, maybe 15 years ago it came out. Um, there was a black owned company that was making its own relaxer, and it was one of the last companies, and I can't remember the name of it, that was still making relaxer for use. And Chris Rock's question was, if these chemicals can strip paint off a car, why would you put it on your skin and your hair? And he talked about the creamy crack. You spend almost $200 every 6 weeks to have it put in your hair, and then your hair styled. And people get their hair done before they pay the rent. There was like a whole running joke in part of that film, and he's right. He's absolutely right. You know, people were using their rent money to put this caustic stuff in their hair because they had to look quote unquote professional for their job, or they wanted their hair straight, so they were closer to our Caucasian sisters, um, or they had to look presentable for church, so and this young lady who's suing, she started having it put in her hair when she was in the third grade, so she must have been like 8 years old. And 20 years later, she has uterine cancer. Yeah. So anyway, I present this tonight, and I'm not staying on long, but oh, I almost didn't catch that. My dear, hello, my dear. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. I was just getting ready to wrap this thing up, and I saw your comment. Um, Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am doing my best to keep this up. I just came across this article tonight about this poor young lady who ended up with uterine cancer. She had been putting that creamy crack in her hair since third grade, and she can't have kids. She had to have a hysterectomy, and she's 32, and it's a shame. And I felt for her because I had uterine cancer also, and I also had to have a hysterectomy, but that was last year. I had fibroids, and even back then there was a a connection. Thank you, my dear. Thank you, thank you. Even back then, there was a connection um, assumed between the chemical relaxer and women getting cancer and all that. Never mind getting your head burned off by the chemical hair and your skin burned by the chemicals. But there were other things going on because, as I mentioned earlier, you have these nasty chemicals getting absorbed into your skin which end up in your bloodstream, which who knows who's doing what. Um yeah, the thing is we sisters have been kind of talking about this for years, but there was never any real connection that popped up. So this young lady's lawsuit, I think it's going to force a stronger um what's the word I'm looking for? A a stronger research into this, you know. Um like I said, it's been going around for years, and we've kind of suspected, but nothing was definitively proven. But this young lady coming forward and forcing these companies to take another look, because even the no lie relaxers, they still, the stuff that's in it burns your skin, burns your hair. It's the same stuff. They just don't put the actual lie in it. um and I also mentioned Chris Rock's movie Good Hair. I think it's been about 15 years ago it came out, but even then there was an assumption, you're putting these caustic chemicals on your skin. Don't you think something's going to happen to you? So, it's we've been talking about it and whispering in the salon, so to speak, for a long time. And spending $200 every 6 weeks to put that stuff in your head, it was an expensive thing, and I actually ended up giving up on it altogether back in 2000, and let's see, I was still living in Jersey, so I think it was 2007, 2008. My hair was breaking so badly, I couldn't do anything with it, and I buzzed my head, and I've been buzzing my head ever since. And it's so liberating. Not everyone can do it, but I'm one of the few that it worked out, and whew, let me tell you, it's a relief. $25 and 20 minutes in the chair. Let me tell you. I mean, sometimes it gets a little rough in the barbershop. I gotta, you gotta have like strong skin to, because the barbershop's usually a guy's hangout. You don't see too many women in the barbershop. So sometimes they get to talking. But people get to talking, and but if you can put up with that, you getting a nice buzz cut can be a worthwhile thing. But I do hope this young lady's lawsuit, if nothing else, pushes the need for You say, "Oh, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, I will be in touch. I promise. Things are a little crazy with mommy, but I will definitely hit you up. Uh, yeah, man, the barbershop. Um, yeah, that is but I like my barbershop. The guys are really cool, so it all works out. I don't mind a little rough talk every now and then. Shoot, I've said some rough stuff myself. um, but yeah, I'm hoping this young lady's lawsuit will push things along a little bit more. And here's the odd thing: the companies that she's suing, um they were companies, L'Oreal, Revlon, Dark and Lovely used to be black owned. It's not anymore. And Ultra Sheen and they used to be black owned back in the day. And they are not anymore. They kind of perpetuated that for a couple of years, and then people started figuring out that wait, they're not black owned anymore. So I think there's one company left that is black owned and still makes relaxer kits. And the name just escapes me. I'll just have to look it up and I'll mention it. Maybe beat in chat Saturday. I'll continue this discussion a little bit because, like I said, I went through what she went through. I had uterine cancer. I had a hysterectomy. I had fibroids before then, and I honestly think the Okay, take care, my dear. I see you. We'll be in touch. Um, and I honestly believe the chemicals that I used to use had something to do with it because there's no history, just like this young lady, there's no history of uterine cancer. As a matter of fact, there's no history of cancer on my mother's side of the family at all. And I think one person on my father's side may have had breast cancer, but there's no way it passed through the genes, you know. So I think the chemicals have something to do with it. You know, people talk about what you eat and how we have to be careful with the food that we eat, and make sure we drink extra water and be careful what you take in, but you have to also be careful of what you put on your skin because that gets absorbed into your body just like the food we eat. So but anyhow, I wanted to bring this up. I think being in chat, I may talk about this a little bit more. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that mommy is calm and asleep by the time I do beat in chat Saturday night. So we can talk about it some more while I make some stuff. I think I'm going to be doing earrings this weekend, y'all. So if you're into earrings, stop by beat in chat. And tomorrow night, I will be doing pop culture, the YouTube street guide, part 2. And I've got a lineup. I have a lineup of folks that I'm going to present, and I think it's going to be a fun night. So join me tomorrow night for the pop culture group part 2 for the YouTube Street Guide. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're tuning in on the replay, thank you. And a big thank you and a big virtual hug to DL Saint. I really want to know podcast. Please check him out. He's funny, he's informative, and he's a really cool dude. So please go to his channel, check him out, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys on the other side. Likes are always welcome. Likes are free. Comments are always welcome. I appreciate you all. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.